Hey peeps, welcome back to the Growth Lab podcast. I'm your host Matt Harris and I run the Growth Lab, a lead generation consultancy for cleaning businesses. Today's episode is the second installment of an interview I recorded with Daniel Valverde, who runs a successful residential cleaning business in Puerto Rico. If you haven't listened to the first installment, make sure you check out last week's episode where we discussed Daniel's origin story from learning English to making bank in corporate restaurant sales and being diagnosed with cancer. This second part is all about how Daniel started and has grown his cleaning business over the last 3 years. We discuss how Daniel runs his business as an internet company instead of a cleaning business, how his first ads campaign generated 400 leads, how he focuses on winning weekly recurring cleans, the importance of customer service with a personal touch, recruiting, training, and keeping his cleaning team happy, and why collecting customer feedback is important for growing his cleaning business. For more tips on lead generation and insights on the most successful strategies, tools, and tactics to help grow your cleaning business, sign up for the Growth Lab newsletter via the link in the episode description. You ready? Let's dive in.
I didn't want to waste my time in cleaning my apartment that was there. So I found a cleaning lady. So I was like the owner of the apartment found me a cleaning lady. It's a very small apartment, but I still wanted a cleaning lady. So, like she comes and cleans my apartment and see how much she charges. And so it was very little. And how much time it took her, which was a lot of time. So I was like, oh, well, she should charge way more than this. And, it's like, well, and then later on, my computer, on Facebook, and I think I'm going to fuck around and start a cleaning company. And I even posted on Facebook, I'm going to fuck around and start a cleaning company. And I went into research mode. I look at every single website of here that does cleaning. I look at all of their reviews. I look as much as Facebook groups, everything that I could possibly find information. I wrote down all the things that I could use as a positive for myself, as whatever people are complaining about your businesses and how I'm going to do it better. But I knew that I have at my disposal that would be not a lot of owners of traditional cleaning companies will have is the skills that I have from creating websites, generating leads that I've done before. Writing. I mean, I'm not a copywriter, but I know the basis of writing a little bit of copy. So all of those things, I'm like, if I combine all these things and I run my cleaning company more as an internet company, or what you would do with an e-commerce, do different automations, with Zapier, things like that. I can make myself ahead of most people if I do it that way. So I went to my cleaning lady and I was like, listen, are you able to take more jobs? If I can get you more jobs, would you be able to take it? And I was like, I'm going to charge this amount of money and I'm going to give you this amount of money, which is more than what she was making. And I want to do it. She was doing it with her friend, with her cousin or something. She was like, yeah. So I set up everything. I went and created the website. I did the testing to see if I could get the leads. I got the leads. I started getting everything prepared. A week after, starting to take customers, I texted and she never answered. So I didn't have a cleaner. So I went and I was, oh my God. So I went online and I on a Facebook group, I actually went through a Facebook group that was for people living in Puerto Rico for expats. So, and I asked, does anybody have a cleaning person that I could use? And I found this guy and I have him clean my apartment a couple of times and I did the same thing with him. But to him, I said, I have a cleaning company. I have extra jobs that need taken care. Would you be interested in picking up something every now and then? And he said, well, yeah, I have available this day and these days. And so I created everything and I blocked all the days but those days. And I found jobs for him. And then eventually, he started taking more jobs from me because he was making more money than the other place with me. And then I have him train the next people. So
just before you jump into that, so when you decided that you were going to start this, what market were you aimed at? Obviously, you picked Resi. Who was your ideal client?
What
were you focused on? What did your research take? Okay, Resi.
And I thought that the best customers for me to try and get would be other expats that have moved to Puerto Rico. People from the States that have moved here and then they wanted the cleaning services. So I tested this. I did Google ads, I did Facebook ads in English and in Spanish, and try to market the people that were the experts and also Puerto Rican. But it ended up being that Puerto Ricans actually were the ones that wanted my service more. I ended up capturing Puerto Ricans more than that. Actually, it ended up being the 90% of my customers are Puerto Rican.
Oh wow!
I just found us the affluent ones, that the people that can actually afford the services. I mean, it's the country that's a lot of poverty here too, but there's also a lot of people they're very affluent. So I did find that, and then just like that, they're like, I got leads. The first month that I put out ads, I got 400 leads. There was definitely a demand for the business. I was like, okay,
were they good leads? Were they good leads? Because people have experience on Google and Facebook, and you get people who always want the lowest price and all that kind of stuff. Were they decent?
No, they were decent leads, but I was able to convert as much as I needed. My leads are much better now, and I don't get as many these months. But the 400 gave me a lot of hope. Having the first 400, and I know I can convert I know I can convert at least 10 of these or whatever. And I always focus from the beginning. I think that the money is on repeat business. There are people I always get a big discount for weekly cleanings because I want to secure those. And I think those are the people that are gonna make me the most money. As I had these people, I don't have to sell them twice.
Yeah.
If I sell you once and I do a really, really good job at it, I don't have to sell you again. So that's always been my focus, right? So I make sure that my cleaners do really well. They understand it. I will actually, at the beginning, I will go to these new cleanings and bring them something like a gift card, a loaf of bread, anything, and just be like, hey, how are you? I just came from this bakery. I really love their bread, and I wrote you a song, and I just wanted to meet you, and welcome you to the company, and thank you for it. Make phone calls after the cleanings are almost finished. When the cleaners are still in the house, I have to make a phone call and be like, hey, I just wanted to see how everything went with the cleaning. If there's anything else that you need me to, maybe they missed something and you wanted to retouch or something, just let me know so I can get it done before they leave. And also if they were super happy with it, and also, are you interested in signing up for your next cleaning? When would you have these days available and things like that? So I would try to secure the next cleaning right then on the spot. And for bigger cleanings, I will show up myself as well and the cleaning and do the whole thing again to get the people to feel oh man, he cares. He's the owner of the company is coming all the way to meet me, to thank me. He brought me this, and then and then they like it, they appreciate it, and then they book for more days, and then they like the cleaners. They tell me, can you send the same people every day? And of course, I make the biggest effort to have them always show the same houses that they want them, and they actually build relationship with the owners as well. They have this one cleaner that she goes cleans every Thursday. She cleans her house, but the woman waits with her with coffee, and they talk, they drink their coffee, they talk. They're it's nice,
That's nice.
And
the effort that you put in at the start of, once you've won a client, do you continue that, or is it only the first, 2 or 3 times that you clean for them, you get the checkup, the feedback, and then every maybe 2 or 3 months you check in and make sure that everything was still straight? Is that how you worked it, or
I have a person now that does a lot of the functions that I used to do. Okay. But I still like to be involved. I still like to call the customers. I still like to make sure that everything is good. I still like to meet my cleaners when I'm around because I do travel a lot. But when I'm here, I'm actually having a meeting with them today. Okay. Which likes to meet with all of them and get their feedback. Get they help solidify the experience, solidify our SOPs and everything. So they tell me this works really well. People really like this. People really like that. I have a suggestion for you to do this, and it helps a lot. So I focus. My main focus with the business, I will say, is the cleaners making money and being happy. The customers always being in the loop and always being taken care and being happy, and me making sure that those things happen and making sure that the customers are getting the warm, the glow, and make sure that they make sure that we're taking care of them. And then if they need something, they can contact me directly, and then I'll fix it for them, or I'll make it better for them, whatever it is. Okay. Those are my main focuses. And I also know that the problems here is maybe people less many cancellations from not people showing up late and whatnot. So I make sure that we don't do that. Sure. I'm opposite. When I interview people, I also like to do all my interviews. When I interview people, I always tell them this is very important for me. You need to let me know if anything happens, any problems, just let me know. I can do something if you let me know an hour before your car is not working. I can call the customer. I can make sure. I'll go clean myself. I don't care. We'll fix it. If you're gonna cleaning at noon and I find out 10 minutes after that you didn't get there or that you're not gonna get there, then it doesn't work. So I always talk to them and I make sure that there's more important things. Okay. And I also make it for them to be not for me to be behind them all the time. So I only tell them to let me know when you get there, do your cleaning, let me know when you're about to finish. Okay. So literally it's just like that. Send me a second text message okay, we just got there, we started clean, okay, we're about to finish. I let them do the thing, and there's a lot of them I barely see them, or only see them when we have a meeting or something like that. I want them to feel like this is their thing, that they can go and they can do it and have nobody bother them. They just go, they do the job, and they leave, and they make good money. So
so you mentioned a couple of things. Well, 3 things that I specifically want to pick up on. One is training and SOPs. The other is obviously making sure the cleaners are happy. So, I'd like to find out a little bit more about what you do, how often you meet, like how you go over and above to ensure that, other than payment, because there's other needs that people want when they work for a business, right? And also the third thing is on the customer side, other than providing an exceptional cleaning service, like what else, and these little personal touches that you've already mentioned, like what else does that customer service delivery look like? So I know there's three things. So maybe let's start with the trainings and the SAP aspect, because I guess that includes recruitment, and you said you get feedback from your cleaners about what worked and what didn't. So I'd like you to explain a little bit more about that aspect of your business.
Definitely. So I did this very quickly, right? But my first cleaner person was somebody with experience. So I knew that I had this person to lay on, right? So when I went to hire new cleaners, I put a simple ad on what would be like the version of Craigslist here, or like Facebook marketplace, and I put an ad for cleaners. To be a cleaner, you don't need a certification. You don't necessarily need experience. So I got the cleaners, and what I would do is I would first have them do a clean on my place, and then I would have doing a clean with the guy, with the first original cleaner. So I went to him and like, can you please help me train a new cleaner that I have? I really like the work that you do. I want you to teach in your way. So he trained the next cleaners.
Yeah.
So then like there were the people that necessarily did cleaning before, but they were trained by him.
Sure.
And I had him also do like a write down for me, like the steps and all the things. And that's been better with the time, making it better all the time.
Yeah.
But he wrote like what the things that you should be looking at and stuff like that, the detergents and all that stuff. And I would pass that along to the next cleaners. And just like that, I always say, I had the next clean be trained by one of my cleaners.
Yeah.
And then like shadow them. And I started with before I would just do one cleaner per clean.
Yeah.
Which was mistake. Well, let's talk about some mistakes then. But yeah, like so yeah, like I started, I will do one cleaner instead of one cleaner per house, and it would take longer. Obviously, it was a little harder to sell for the amount, because I charge by the hour, and it was harder to sell. Are you charging this amount by the hour, but you're selling one person?
Yeah,
it makes sense. They were right. And another mistake that I did at the beginning is I didn't start by charging by the hour. I wanted to be innovative, and I said like, I'm gonna make it so it takes you 60 seconds to book. Is the easiest thing. You just enter your number of rooms and your number of bedrooms, bedrooms and bathrooms. And then he charged you one bedroom, one bathroom is this amount of money, two is this amount of money. The people didn't want that. Okay. People here didn't want that. People here wanted to have a conversation. They wanted to have a phone call. They wanted to like be sold in the business. Yeah. Think about Puerto Ricans, because this is really funny, because I've been in like sales calls and I'm like 20 minutes in talking to them, and I'm like just looking at my girlfriend, just like laughing. It's like they really enjoy talking, and I'm like, and it's funny, like and like was like they were like, yeah, I'm calling from the cleaning company. Oh yeah, well I need a cleaning company because I used to do it myself, and I used to have this lady, and they just like go on and go and then tell you the whole story. I actually love it, but it would take a really long time. But that's what the market wanted. So the market didn't want that, and it's also too many variables for that, because a two bedroom apartment could be small or could be huge. So I was like, there's too many variables. It didn't work. I switched to a square footage, and I considered to square footage. I was like, that's also not it's gonna be the same thing. It's too many variables. Yeah, so I said, by the hour. Let's do it by the hour. Is the easiest, fairest to me way to do it. I'll plan the cleanings by the hour. I charge the customers by the hour. So when they get there, when they finish cleaning, they absolutely get charged for work done, right? You're not paying people for anything that hasn't been done. You're just paying the amount of money that you agree to for the amount of time that it took. So I went and explored that. But I was doing just one cleaner. And at first, with the cleaning company, I wanted to be very lean and have as little amount of personnel as possible. It's just one cleaner. And then it turns out like, because your cleaner, the original cleaner left, and like, it's hard to like, it was hard to like, create a team at the beginning. You had to get some people in, get some people out, right? The original person ended up not working out, and I have a newer person that was trained by him, but this person ended up being good, and I ended up being. But the problem was that I like him a lot, and even like my girlfriend will point out and said, "You're letting him get away with things that you wouldn't let somebody else."
Yeah, I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, she was like, "You're being way too lenient with him. He's getting away with it, and it's actually detrimental to your business." But I didn't want to like believe it, I wanted to like really help him out. He had a good story, like I like him as a person. I even got to the point that I would wake up, picking up, and take him to the jobs. His car broke down or something. So I'll help him out. But then it got to a point that I decided, maybe you got to cut this. And that's when like things started to get better. Once I started like really focusing on cleaners, on finding the right cleaners and get them trained properly and getting make sure that they're happy, that's when things started to take a churn and took off.
Okay.
And how I keep my cleaners happy, I pay them really well.
Okay.
I pay about like 50% more than what people pay here. I want them to make money. I want them to be happy. I'll help them out as much as I can. I'm nice to them, like every now and then, I buy them lunch, I send them
Sure.
like things like here, like take this, buy yourself lunch or things like that, or just try little things. And one thing that I do make a very big point with myself is to be thankful. I always thank them for everything that they do. They said, "Oh, Daniel, we just finished cleaning. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your help. Thank you." And they would be like, "Oh yeah," and then I would say, "Oh, they would thank me," and I would say, "No, thank you." Or things like that. I always make sure that they know that they're appreciated. They know, if somebody sends me a message, a good message, I always screenshot it and send it to them with another thank you or something like that. I'll be like, you're doing this for me. Appreciate you being part of my vision, and together we do this, we do well. Things like that. I want to make sure that they're always happy, and I want to make sure that they know that they're a big part of my business, and then I'm thankful for what they do for me.
Yeah, so you're able to obviously pay your cleaners 50% more because I'm guessing your service is exceptional. So you're able to charge your clients more for your exceptional service, right? So as a result of that, you're able to filter that down, make the, reward the cleaners financially, as well as making them feel part of your vision. So talk to me about the customer service aspect. Like how do you deliver that, and how are you, providing that additional value to be able to charge them what I would imagine is a premium in the area, considering you're able to pay 50% more than what your competition is?
I'm actually kind of competitive with my competition. I might be a little more expensive than them, but it's not actually much more.
Sure.
I find like having a team of cleaners, like sending 2 cleaners per job, still being able to pay to charge the customer a good amount for me to make money, but they do the job much better. They do the job very well. They help each other out. They're they keep each other in check. They make sure that they do everything well.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the customers, since the beginning, I've always been about make it as simple as possible. I don't like extra fees for this, extra fee for that. I don't like to nickel and dime people of anything. So when I decided I'm gonna do it by the hour, it's by the hour. As long as there's a set price, and I tell them this, and the cleaner knows this. If they help, they're gonna basically clean whatever you need, the basics to it. But if you need something else, they will too. As I said, if you would want them to clean inside the cabinets, right? The cabinets, ask them and they will do it. And it's the same price, because we charge for time, not for what we're cleaning. So you want them to clean inside the fridge, it's fine. They can do that too. And it's going to be the same price by the hour, the same amount of money, because it just adds time to the cleaning. They even do windows, but windows, very easy, they can reach without putting themselves on any kind of risk and any kind of stuff. So I tell them they can help you clean anything, just as long as they don't need to move furniture.
Yeah.
They're not gonna move any heavy furniture. They're not gonna use any special tools to clean it. They're not gonna power wash your house or things like that. There's not gonna be any of that. They're not gonna put themselves they're not putting themselves in any kind of risk. I tell that to people. They're not gonna take their body out of the window and start doing that stuff. They're not gonna climb any ladders. They're not gonna do anything but if they can reach it and they can clean it this way and it's within reach, they can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
And the cleaners know that that they have their limitations, but they can help. They're not gonna do their laundry, personal laundry, but they can help with in an Airbnb with towels and sheets and whatnot, stuff like that. And then more they're most happening in an Airbnb setting. They're not gonna cook for you, right? But they can help you clean the different areas, maybe normally. So I think the customers appreciate that. I think they like that. The fact that it's just very transparent pricing. What it is what they're going to be charged. And then as I said, I make sure that the cleaners are happy. Happy cleaners produce happy work. It actually I had reviews of people telling me they're happy, they're I like how they work and the team, I love how professional they are, but they're doing they enjoy what they're doing. It's a great thing, because they get to talk to the customers as well, and the customer absorb that energy from them. So they like that. They get really kind of like family. They know they're gonna be here on Tuesday, and they're gonna clean for us and help us out, and then they try to be out of their way, because a lot of people work from home, and they know they just do their cleaning as ninjas, as much as possible without doing as much disturbing, but if the person wants to talk, they talk. If they don't, they do their thing. Just make sure that my cleaners know what they're doing. And I also make sure that there's a lot of communication with the customers,
which is important.
I do. It's important, you know. People, this is cost. It's a cleaning business as a service, but it's also a lot of customer relationship. You know, you're coming into people's homes. You know, you don't want somebody in your home that you don't like. You don't want somebody in your home that you're a little, you know, like hesitant about having in your home. You don't want somebody in your home that you don't trust. So like we had to earn their trust before we get into their home, and we had to earn their trust while they're at their home, and we had to show them that we can behave in their house, and that we can add, like, you know, like a member or like somebody that you want to be in your house, somebody that you welcome in your house. And that's what we do, and people appreciate that too. You know, like they know that their house is being respected. They know that we're doing our best to lead them with a nice, happy, clean home, and then they can trust us. And they know that, like, if something happens, God forbid, we're gonna take care of them no matter what. It's happened, you know, like we have issues and it has been fixed, you know. Like we like somebody's car gets messed up, I get involved, you know, and I call them and I'd be like, you know, hey, sorry, like I can send you this person maybe like an hour later, or I can reschedule for this day. Like problems can be fixed, and most people are very understandable if you approach them the right way. If you are heads up with them, if you're like ahead with like the problems, they're gonna be okay. If you tell them that somebody's gonna be late 30 minutes late an hour before, they're okay with that. If you wait late and you're like afraid to communicate with them, then it becomes a problem, you know. Or if you leave it on the cleaner to like let them know, hey, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah, you have to take control of that.
Like, exactly. Like the people like that. People like to hear like that the person in charge took notice and is fixing the issue, you know, and that they know, and that the things are gonna still happen. So that's like a big focus. And for me, for these kind of companies, is customer service and make sure that they're happy.
So one of the things which both resi and commercial cleaning companies struggle with is growing their team, like finding additional members to join the team. How have you navigated that? I guess, you know, if you have a happy team, then naturally people are attracted to a happy place to work, right? But what sort of outbound methods have you used to help grow the team as and when you've needed to?
Nothing crazy. I actually hired a team last month that did really well, and I'm actually extending an offer today to the next team that I interviewed the last couple of days. My outbound method has been Facebook ads.
Okay.
Facebook ads and ads on like the version of Craigslist here, which is called I don't even remember the name on top of my head, but it's kind of like Craigslist for Puerto Rico. So I use that, and actually the last one I created a Facebook ad that got a lot of attention, and I had them message me through WhatsApp, and I set up interviews, and I set up a bunch of interviews, and I just met everybody, just people. But I would set up like 5 interviews a day, like 4 interviews a day, and just like talk to a bunch of people, and then like find good ones, test them out, cut the bad ones quickly. Hire more.
What does your interview process look like? Have you got like a set script that you follow? Are there set questions that you ask, or is it just to get to know you? It's
more like a get to know me for me. At that point, I already know if they have any kind of experience. But I go to them and I tell them, well, this is how it's going to work. I want to learn about you first. And then I want to learn, and then I'm going to teach you about what we do. And if we click, then we talk about what we can do for you to get started. And that's pretty much it. And I started like, tell me about your previous experience, the last place that you work in order. And then you tell me like, then I just ask them, okay, well, what happened at this place? Oh, why did you leave? Or like, you know, what were your duties? Like walk me through your day through it, and just things like that. But then I also ask them personal questions, like not bad person questions, but they're like, oh, what do you like to do when you're like not working? You know, like what's entertaining for you, or things like that. You know, like get to know them, get to like talk about themselves, and like, you know, like you know when you have a person that is gonna be, you know, loyal, good person. Like, for example, I got somebody like, okay, what if I offer you the job? When will you start? Well, I have a job right now, so I had to start in 2 weeks because they need to cover my shift. So I was like, okay, I respect that from you, because I would want you to do that for me. So like, I'm like, okay, this is the person that is worth continue talking, exploring, seeing what they want to do, and things like that. You know, have a mother and daughter thing that's gonna send the application for them tomorrow. And this is actually because I saw the initiative. Like the daughter actually messaged me, not from the ads. She messaged me from one of my selling ads, not from my hiring ads.
Oh, wow.
But she was like, you have a cleaning company here are you looking for people for work? I also have my mom that wants to work. And I would say, I love those kind of things. And I was like,
Nice.
absolutely. When can I meet you? He said, we can be there tomorrow. I can be there tomorrow. And I was like, done. Tomorrow this time. And then I met them. I liked them. I talked to them for like 20 minutes. And now they don't know yet, but I'm going to offer them the job today.
Perfect.
And that has been my process, like that's it, like finding them, letting them, trusting in it a little bit, having a nice interview with me, and then trying it out and see what happens. I look for people that will get along with my customers. That my customers will like, that I know they're gonna be like represent the company well and do a good job.
And I guess because you communicate quite a lot with your customers and you have a lot of touch points, you really get to understand them, right? So you get to get a feel for the type of personalities that are going to work and those that aren't. Those that are going to represent your company well for the customers that you have, and those that aren't quite going to be the right fit regardless. So I think that is really important. And I think probably you wouldn't have been so granular with that information had you not gone through the process of, getting to know and understand your customers. I think that was a big failing on my side when I had the commercial cleaning biz. We had touch points with customers, but not near as often as enough as it should have been. A lot of it was electronic, so you don't really get to know personalities as a result of that, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I want to ask before we jump into the quick fire questions is, you mentioned at the beginning of the chat about your cleaning company, about setting it up as an internet company. So I'm quite curious to know, what your tech stack is, what tools you use to help run your business.
Yeah, definitely. So my CRM is Convert Labs. They do a lot of things. They ask for reviews, get the schedule there. They can do the bookings. You can hook it up to Stripe, so we can charge people through them. Can communicate with the cleaners, assign teams to the cleans. It's very, very good. But there are a bunch of them, and all you need is like those capabilities to get started. I use Zapier for automations. So I have an automation set up for when people filling in the information from my ads, they enter their emails, the phone number, the text message. So I immediately sending an automated email with all the information, welcome day, and explaining how our services works and things like that. I have another one that when I charge somebody, they immediately get an email from me that says like, thank you very much for using our service. This is a coupon for your next cleaning. And if you could please do us a favor, here are Google reviews. If you can go click this link and leave a 5-star review on Google, that will help us tremendously. And I send that automatically to every cleaning. So that helps as well. Another thing that actually haven't started, but I'm very excited about this. I don't know if you've heard about NFC tags. These little things right here, actually ordered from Amazon. They're super cheap, but these like little circles, right?
Yeah.
And you download an app and then you put it to anything and you can make like different commands to it. And this idea came from ChatGPT, which is a little crazy. Like the AI gave me this idea. I told her, I said, I'm an owner of a cleaning company in Puerto Rico. This is what I use. This is my test stack. And I also have these NFC tags that I thought, how could I possibly use it to like make things better, right? And he said, you can use the NFC tags that you can give them to the cleaners. And what they do is, you link this to an app and you actually assign the function to it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put in like sort of a business card where the cleaner is going to really get to the house and they're going to go to the tab and they go like, go like this. And immediately it's going to log in the hours in the spreadsheet. It's gonna like, when it gets started, when they finish, they do the same thing. It processes, and then it'll be like, okay, this clean, this person, this amount of hours, and then I have another spreadsheet that is gonna go and keep track on how much I had to charge the customers.
Nice.
And all those things are gonna be automated. And you can use it in many different things. Like I don't know, like if you were to like provide the detergents and the things to your cleaners, you can have them attach that to their bottles and tap in, and it will let you know that they're about to run out of it, things like that. Like there's a lot of like we can use technology to make our cleaning companies run in that way to like take advantage of those things. Like easy communication, save your time, allows you to like focus on the customer service part, which is like what is going to bring you the most money.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
and I think that's the future.
Yeah, for sure. I have been hanging out on Twitter and find out a lot, right? So I found out about the AI functions and how you can use that. I think from Dencon, he posted a thread about using AI to create some blog posts and all that. I was like, it's worth a try, and if it can help with additional levels of automation in the business, so that you can focus on what really is the core of it, which is the customer service side and the team management, the human element of it that kind of makes it all the better, right? So it's good that you're teched up to be able to take advantage of it, which is awesome. So look, Daniel, I know we've spoken for a while, and I think there might even be a third episode in this, because I know there's a bunch of questions that I haven't asked that I want to explore. But I've got a couple of quick fire questions just to ask you now before we wrap up. The first one is, what one piece of advice would you give a younger version of yourself just starting out with your cleaning business?
I would say to try to keep things as simple as possible, and to focus on the customers being happy and the team. The team is the most important part. Really focusing on finding those people and not wasting time on somebody that maybe because I like them doesn't mean that they were the right people for the job. So like making sure to like have those people that will be responsible and that would also fit in with the culture of the company. That will be my main focus. No, nothing complicated. Just make sure that you get the right team and they do a good job, and then the customers are happy. That's it.
And what 3 skills do you feel have been essential to help you grow your cleaning business?
I think my customer service skills, since I come from like working in restaurants and all of this, being able to like talk to people and make sure that things are people are happy. My lead generation skills have been key for this. That one thing that I would say is like finding customers has never been an issue since the beginning. Like customers has been like possibly one of the easiest part of the whole operation. Cleaners is what it is. But finding the customers hasn't been a problem for me, and that I think it comes from like my background, being able to generate the leads. And then a third one, it's like managing people, managing employees, managing like expectations, managing customers. Like that's key. Is like, this is a sort of hospitality business.
Yeah,
it's a service, but you're doing a service to a person that inviting you to their house. So we had to like treat it like a guest on their house, and they're making sure that the customers are happy and the people are happy. And that's like, I think it's one of the biggest part of it, management.
Nice one. And as we wrap up, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter. It's Daniel Valverde with the number 3 at the end. That's where I'm most prominent right now. That's where my focus is right now. The next few months, I'm going to focus on other things. But right now, Twitter is what I post the most.
Well, Daniel, this has been a really fascinating conversation. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I will definitely hook up with you for a round 2, because there's a lot to be left unexplored. But for now, man, thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next one.
All right, man. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks to Daniel for joining us on the Growth Lab podcast. And thanks to you guys for listening. If you haven't checked out part 1 of this interview, head back to last week's episode to learn all about Daniel's origin story. You can access the show notes and resources via the link in the episode description. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with others who you think will find it useful across social media, or leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you listen to. You can also follow me on Twitter at @Iam_Matt Harris. That's MATTHARRIS to catch all the latest from the Growth Lab and how to generate more contract opportunities for your cleaning business. See you next time. And remember, if your cleaning business isn't growing, it's dying.